Omega Force. You might not know their name, but you certainly know their work. For the past 16 years, the Musou style of beat-em-ups has browsed the likes of Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors. But this evergreen franchise also includes a lot of licensed adaptations, including The Legend of Zelda, One Piece, and Mobile Suit Gundam. Now Koei Tecmo has published Arslan, The Warriors of Legend, based off of the anime and manga by Hiromu Arakawa. So, is it worth it? Well, based off a 2015 anime series, which is an adaptation of a 2013 manga that's based off a 1986 series of Japanese novels that's based off a Persian epic from the 1800s, yes, this story gets around, Arslan the Warrior of Legend tells the tale of a 4th century war between the Kingdom of Pars and the nation of Lusitania, two militarized governments with opposing ideologies. Despite only being 14 years old, the Parslan Prince Arslan is sent into his maiden battle against the invading forces. But when a high-ranking general betrays the kingdom, the Parslan army receives its first devastating loss. With the king seemingly killed off and the capital of Pars under siege, Arslan must travel through enemy territory, rebuilding his army on the way to save his mother from a forced marriage and restore order to his homeland. And that's just the short version. Warriors of Legend is absolutely packed with events, characters, and terminology. The first few minutes alone are an onslaught of unfamiliar proper nouns. Yeah, it's a tad bit overwhelming, but the narrative hits its stride once it focuses on Arslan's journey home. Introducing charismatic characters such as the artist and advisor Naras and the combat-ready musician Give go a long way to personalize the detail-rich world. But the real star is the kind-hearted Prince Arslan. As a protected member of royalty, his first voyage outside of Pars exposes him to a lot of uncomfortable truths, namely the kingdom's heavy reliance on slavery and Lusitania's goal of abolishment. The juxtaposition of Arslan's unwavering optimism and the gray murkiness of warfare create a compelling dynamic, but it's the added themes of human rights, loyalty, religious persecution, and political corruption that turn the game's early dry exposition into addictive entertainment, all of which are enhanced by an excellent Japanese voice cast. And funny enough, most of this is delivered during the loading screens. In fact, the only real issue is the game you have to play between the cutscenes. Listen, I've played and enjoyed my fair share of warrior games, with the last couple of years arguably producing the best games in the franchise yet. Arslan continues the core fundamentals of facing off against a horde of enemy soldiers on foot and horseback while ranking up combos and knockouts. Tapping the square button produces an average attack combo that can be punctuated with a charge attack. Every successful strike builds your Musou meter, allowing players to deliver charge shifts, a string of blows that allow for weapon swaps and special attacks. Finally, there's a Musou attack, an all-out assault that takes out dozens of enemies. As the story mode progresses, you'll gain access to a wide range of characters and weapons, including swords, spears, bows, and paintbrushes? Huh, I guess the Lusitanians are part Squid Kid. Each have their own advantages in speed, strength, and defense. Not that you'll often need to block or dodge on normal difficulty, but hey, it's there if you want to. Weapons can be enhanced with wind, fire, and water for extra powerful charge attacks through the weapon arts system, with more arts unlocked as your character levels up. Individuals can also amplify their stats with 3 skill cards. Each card is graded on its augments and the points required to use. Unused cards can be sold for gold or synthesized for new cards. More cards can be earned on the battlefield or by completing timed objectives. While hardly a game changer, it does add a level of depth to combat. But Arslan's most entertaining addition to the formula is the Marden Rush. Once a player enters a designated area on the map, they're able to unleash a rush attack. This takes a few different forms, such as unifying your units to charge towards enemies and obstacles, or firing hundreds of arrows to burn down environmental blockades. Though this essentially functions as a gameplay plot device, transforming your army into a focused mob is just plain fun. But these graphically intense sequences also expose Arslan's problematic frame rate. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what they're attempting, as the majority of the game runs at 30 frames per second, with frequent dips to the low 30s and occasional raises to 60. The on-screen presentation hardly qualifies Arslan for such significant issues. The level designs also feel stilted. Stages are completely forgettable with bland backgrounds and cookie-cutter layouts. Still, the models are fantastically rendered, especially during the game's in-engine cutscenes. But that doesn't excuse the disappointing frame rate. So, is Arslan the Warrior of Legend worth it? No. Look, I understand that anime and Musou fans are very protective of their favorite franchises, but after the success of Samurai Warriors 4, Hyrule Warriors, and One Piece Pirate Warriors, it's very hard to enjoy the underwhelming design and technical problems of Arslan. Even on its own, it feels dated and dull. Worse yet, its best quality is its story, and considering there's already a critically acclaimed anime and manga that tells the exact same plot with far more detail, there's really no reason for fans or newcomers to play Arslan. Arslan the Warrior of Legends is currently available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC for $60. If you had a chance to play it, let me know what you thought, and if you haven't, especially you fans of the anime and manga, let me know if you plan on picking it up. My name is Colin Tanner, and I'll see you in the next video.